Hello everyone, this is Floxcat, and welcome to another special, hold on, welcome to what happened to FreddieW, aka RocketJump, and this is from Gamer from Mars. If you guys don't know about him, he does these types of content, and today we're going to react to it. If you want the original video, as always, it's going to be description down below. Let's do this.
The most popular content on the platform was extremely amateur. Online video wasn't bringing in industry professionals, but rather random kids in their bedrooms goofing around. And that was sort of the appeal of the website. But that's not to say there wasn't anyone with an understanding of filmmaking on the platform. In fact, back in 2011, one of the biggest creators on the entire site was a man named FreddieW. For years he made action short films with special effects at a quality never seen in online video before, with his uploads often getting tens of millions of views.
Damn.
So if his channel was so successful, you might be asking yourself what happened to cause him to abandon it, with there being no new uploads on his account since 2018.
Yeah, why would you abandon
I'll share
it?
the tale of a man who yearned for things bigger than YouTube. This story begins in the mid-2000s when Freddie met his future collaborator, Brandon, at the University of Southern California of Cinematic Arts.
Ooh,
While
cinematic
other students
arts.
were interested in indie coming-of-age movies and art house films, they had a fondness for action and fighting movies, as well as special effects-heavy blockbusters. This camaraderie transferred over into them starting to make short videos for the emerging industry.
Whoa, they do magic?
Specifically YouTube. While
Shit, I'm done with magic.
Film school projects, as time went on, Freddie started to build up a following on
Oh, they're playing magic poker.
saw himself making videos that catered specifically to YouTube viewers. With their formal education, it gave them an advantage over much of the other content at the time that was nothing more than people talking in front of a webcam. Another point I should add is that Freddie also was playing Guitar Hero at a professional level when the series was at its height of popularity. That, on top of their video background, helped them build an online fan base before people really even understood what that meant. And they were only getting started. So with the love of visual effects, action movies, and the
Dang.
they quickly grew a
Yes, I love that.
Interesting short films with a ton of collabs. I would say the height of their online relevance was in 2010 and 2011, when there was a constant stream of high-quality uploads onto the account. He was a genuine grade A creator at the time, but he was not content stopping there. The next step in Freddie and Brandon's career was creating what was known back then as a web series. Theirs was called Video Game High School, which, as the name describes, was about a school where gamers could rise up. I was young at the time, so I'm not sure if that concept was as cringy back then as it is now, but needless to say, it was an early success story of Kickstarter.
Okay. How the fuck that is a cringe story? That sounds like an awesome idea. That sounds like a freaking awesome idea. How the hell did that...
Raising over $250,000, which actually seems kind of low considering how popular they were. As for the quality of the show, I remember watching the first season when they were being released and recalled it not really being for me. The concept of the series, along with the writing, made it feel like I was watching a slightly edgier Disney Channel movie. While Freddie's content appealed to me in 2-minute bursts, as a kid I didn't feel their humor and style translated as well to long-form versions of their content. But my opinions aside, the series did well, getting 2 more seasons as it became the focus of Freddie's career with less short-form content being put out. Because of the change in the channel's direction, Brandon ended up leaving the team, and the channel was rebranded to RocketJump. After they completed 3 seasons of Video Game High School, RocketJump seemed to have a pretty good relationship with Hulu going for a while, when the streaming platform bought a behind-the-scenes show that gave us a look at their short films. There was also another series called Dimension 404, which is described as an anthology series that explores the wonders and terrors of our digital age. Now, where have I heard that before? Both shows were canceled after 1 season, so it seems that having someone else finance their endeavors didn't work out as well.
That's true.
I think a lot of creators like the idea of getting a show bought by a big channel or streaming service, so they can get more money to play around with and just focus on the creative side of things. Little do they know that most of their time will be spent pitching projects, having them stuck in development hell, and even if they do come to fruition, most likely be canceled after a season. Unfortunately, Freddie's IMDb just kind of stopped after Dimension 404. Just like many other YouTubers that tried to transition to the mainstream, it didn't work out exactly as planned. Just because his ideas worked on an early YouTube doesn't mean it will work elsewhere. To be clear, I don't know the exact behind-the-scenes details here, but I've seen so many other YouTubers go down this path that the story basically writes itself. The last content posted on RocketJump was in 2018 with the second season of Anime Crime Division, a show that they made with Crunchyroll. The first episode pulled in 5 million views, yet by the end of the series they were only pulling in around 500,000. After this, it
I
seems like
watched
the
this,
channel
by the
just
way.
fizzled out. My guess would be that they could no longer find bigger companies to pay for their productions. It should be noted that they still get 10 million views a month and gain 20,000 subscribers in that same time frame. If they did decide to come back and make the comedic action shorts that they were once known for, I actually think they could do pretty well. But maybe not if we listen to what Freddie has to say on the subject. In a recent podcast, when Freddie was asked about the change in the channel's direction to the bigger projects, he cited the algorithm change that took place in 2011 as making them need to switch their business model. At that point, YouTube valued higher watch time, which was difficult to achieve with short VFX-heavy films. So because of this, Freddie for the most part abandoned the content that made him famous. While yes, it's true that the algorithm encourages long-form content since 2011, I feel claiming that he had no choice but to change is a bit of a cop-out. While not ideal, shorter videos often have a viral aspect to them that longer content doesn't, and can be more easily shared on other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm sure it was a blow at the time, but if Freddie wanted to make a sustainable business model around this short-form content, he could have. Though it doesn't really matter that much now since RocketJump's once vibrant channel is now pretty dead. So if Freddie isn't making a television series, movie, or YouTube video, what has he been up to? Well, the answer to that is podcasting, where he has multiple shows. One where he comes up with story ideas and scripts for films, and another where he plays Dungeons and Dragons with his friends. I don't know how many people listen to these shows since the analytics are not public knowledge, but I have a feeling Freddie is no longer making content for online viewership, but rather for fun. It allows him to stay active online as he tries to get his next project off the ground in the Hollywood system. As for his former collaborator Brandon, who left the group years ago, well, he went on to be a VR game developer, starting up Stress Level Zero, and their team has been working on getting the basics in virtual reality games right so it can feel as realistic as possible. He seems to be making some pretty cool stuff that I'll check out eventually when I get a VR headset. It's sad to see a staple of early YouTube dissolve as the two creators go their own ways making things besides YouTube videos. But I'll give them credit for not being part of any drama or desperately trying to grab onto any remaining strands of internet fame to keep their dream alive. These are two very smart and talented guys that are doing okay for themselves in their current pursuits. Yes, we can sit here and complain that Freddie sold out or that he isn't as good as he used to be. But to be honest, I don't blame his current career path. Back in the supposed heyday, they were pulling in all-nighters to get the videos out in order to grow their audience on a website still in its infancy. Sure, you can pull that off for a while, but eventually people look for more stability in both work and pay, along with the need for a personal life. With the occasional project funded by a bigger company, along with his more laid-back podcast, Freddie seems to be pretty happy. Sure, things aren't as exciting as a decade ago for him, but he has been able to take his loyal audience and business connections into the next chapter of his life.
And with that being said, that's a good ending. With that being said, I do agree with that, because most YouTubers will try to do a lot of stuff. They try to get people to come to them. That's the reason why I'm still having trouble if I should subscribe back to Dad or not, because I'm still pissed off at him for, literally lying to the company. And there's other YouTubers like that, like, for example, Annoying Orange. And that's the funny thing. Like, I'm subscribed to Annoying Orange no matter what, but many people like that creator, which I've watched one of his other videos. It looks like a lot of people have been trying to get their videos on TV. Let's be honest. Even I know this crap is never going to be on TV unless you have a game system watching YouTube from it. With that being said, and this should come to a lesson to everyone. Don't think you're going to get famous if you're on YouTube, you're never going to get famous. I know for a fact I'm not that famous. I only have like a little subscribers, but hey, I'm okay with the subscriber right now. I hope one day I might get to 100, but for now I don't think I'll be able to get 100 in just one day like a random guy. But, you know, just take a grain of salt and just live with your life with it. I like how they decided to leave, especially since, how urgent it became. But yeah, this has been what happened to FreddieW, aka RocketJump, which I didn't know they actually made anime crime division. I highly recommend you guys watch it on YouTube or Crunchyroll because holy crap, it's funny as hell. Like, it's so funny as hell. Oh man, I love that show. Oh, it's so genius with its reference of anime. But yeah, this has been that, and this has been Floxcat, and I'm snapping out of here. Bye.